All right. In the last video, I just kind of had like another uh, addressing another manipulation of memories. They've been doing a lot of memories manipulation. This is going back to something else. Try to work on. They were working on it even like a while ago, and they were trying to break me down with that. I was like, this is falsified. I'm getting false memories of that, and false reaction of that. And so I don't, because knowing that my brain is never going to be the same. I'm never going to experience anything the same ways. It's going to be a new version of memories. It's going to be a new version of reality. And you've seen, and I've always been pointing out the kind of people who are trying to make you accept this new version of reality. But with me, I don't let them escape. And they hate this because when you hear what I say, you understand that this is so sad and pathetic. But I understand why I'm in a program where this technology has full ability to rewire you in so many ways, which includes your memories, your present time, your memories of what you're experiencing, you used to experience, and everything is changed into something else. It's so nasty. But that's how it's gonna go, and they're gonna do noise campaign. They're gonna do everything possible to try to get you to accept a false memory. They're gonna try to brainwash you into the point of accepting something. This is why I make videos. As I'm speaking right now, they're using a tactic not renowned, but is a tactic used by the CIA to try to disorient and confuse the target individual. And this repetition. So I'm saying what I'm saying, and somebody via V2K, which is this technology that can project your voice onto somebody's brain, saying things over. She's a black girl. The things I've talked about in my last videos, how they try to make you kind of disorient you because you put things in perspective. She wants me to lose concentration and stop talking about this matter specifically that's been manipulated, this memory. Because it's something that, at the same time, as much as they want to manipulate it, it shows a little bit of reality of what these people are and how nasty these people are and how this desperate it is. But that's the kind of world they're in. And that's why they like to call themselves warriors at war or some BS story, because they do foul things and it's not something that it's not dignified, right? They have low life bottom feeders. But on top of that, the humiliations of the fact that the reality they're working for entities with actual pedophiles. While they're here, try to rewire and reconnect things differently and manipulate you to experience things in different ways, specifically in your memories. What I'm going to speak about is something that they're manipulating to something else. Now, let me just start with a quick introduction. I'm what you call a target individual. Not only I'm a target individual, but I'm a target individual who's experiencing V2K. You hear a lot of people calling themselves TIs, target individual, and that means that something is happening to them that is changing the way of living. And this thing is not just like a small little thing. It feels like some kind of conspiracy against breaking this individual down, right? The reality is this is a program that's led by the government, because this kind of, nobody is just trying to break you down just to break you down. Nobody just have the time to do these things just to you for nothing. There's a purpose behind it. These people have life, well, whatever that is. And so they do these things because there is a purpose, and the purpose is that we are in some kind of program led by the government, and there's a purpose behind creating this kind of stress and sufferance onto somebody, and the purpose is based on the development of a technology. Now, with me, not only I'm a target individual, I'm one of those target individuals who talks about dealing with the V2K, synthetic telepathy. This is extremely sophisticated technology that can rewire your brain in so many ways. And that started on August 19, 2019. And it's nasty. It's nasty, it's disgusting. That's what the things they do. It's the foulest things. Now, when you get when you're target individual and you get the gang stalking, all of that is just stressing and it breaks you down in one way. But once they use the V2K onto you, it takes it to another level. At that point, you're no longer you or yourself at all. Completely erased slowly, day by day. Every day, there's somebody here supposed to do this. There's contracted bottom feeders from the government. They are civilians, but they're contracted by entities in the governmental establishment, intelligence community related. Obviously, there's layers between these bottom feeders I'm seeing and the actual people in charge. I understand that they're contracted via some, obviously some other parties somehow, but they're not the creme de la creme. But the technology is 100% completely governmental and definitely controlled by the government. And these people are supposed to implement these tactics. And you hear it in even the ways they use these tactics to, that this is obviously a very obvious like brainwashing tactic that you can understand that something like the CIA, which is the case, CIA can come up with these ways: repetition, 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 repetition. And you hear these bottom feeders saying the same thing to try to counter reality. And they say everything they can say to disorient you, to degrade you, and to make you feel acceptive of whatever. So they make you experience a false memory. It's like, oh, they're a knife, they're gonna stab you. Not to say you're not gonna get stabbed. My point is they're saying that for the purpose for you to accept this false memory. And so what I'm saying specifically right now is this moment that they're trying to change. Because today what's happening, they have the ability to force you to get stimulations and reactions toward children of all ages, from the babies to the older kids. They try to go into memories and change reality of memories, giving you feelings that you weren't feeling at the time, giving you stimulation that you weren't getting at the time. So they can be like, no, we matched it, we mapped it to what you felt there. We didn't change anything. And you hear these people saying, repeating these things. And for me, unfortunately for them, not only I don't subscribe, I look forward to looking at them, to take picture of these bottom feeders, to see what themselves what they are. As I'm saying that, somebody whispered, they're horny. To counter the fact that I'm seeing them for the low life who wants me to accept these false memories. And what is this false memories? It's one of many they're going to change again. So this is all they've been trying to work on that, but I'm not subscribing. This person wants to counter these memories specifically, and she's going to do others where she's going to try to counter that. When I used to date this person, unfortunately, I didn't know I was a target individual, but I noticed something was off. And now knowing, once you're a target individual, the people that are around you, your people you date, and they end up being perps. And she was one, and her family was involved. I know now, but at the time I didn't know. I knew something was off. She had a cousin, a younger cousin at the time, like finishing up high school. And when we dated, they tried to change things. When we dated, I remember seeing her. She was just like a typical teenager. She was a nice kid. And I remember like feeling like I was like her older brother. Like I remember feeling like a sensation of like brotherhood. Like it made me almost like her even more because the family felt like it was my family. I felt like I was part of the family. And I remember her like, well, one thing I remember the most is I remember when I would get like, I hug everybody, I hug her, and I feel like my little sister, not my little baby, my younger sister. But now they try to change into me perceiving her in a sexual way and something that turned me on, so somebody who turned me on sexually. And it's not true. But they try to create different version. Oh, but you were exciting to see her. It's like what do you mean? For what? Was I excited to like see her because I was like my little sister? Maybe it's something like that, but it's not like exciting in a sexual way. And this and even that excitement is falsified. It's like, oh, is you how that's that. It's not like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. But now they make me experience like sensation, stimulations. They've actually been working on it like since 2020, I think. And it's falsified. And that's because they want me to be experiencing this thing where now when I experience it, they'd be like, oh no, we just mapped it to you, remember? It's falsified. And so it's that. And so the worst thing is just what I'm going to say now. And that's what they don't like, because it shows the sadness about this and the patheticness of this. I saw her as the younger sister. She, like I remember giving her a hug. I felt like it was like a sister. Like it felt like a sister, like like a younger sister. But I remember one day we went to her house, my girlfriend's house, and the family was there, and the cousin was there too. And so we're sitting down, and she comes down from, from her bed, whatever. And she was wearing her PJs, and she had her legs crossed, and she was wearing like short right? I don't care, whatever. It's just like, typical. Like at that point, I could look her up and down, nothing. Whew, empty. It would do nothing to me. Today, oh, Jesus, her head could just do something to me because they can manipulate me to experience anything. And so I remember she was sitting in front of me, and all of us, and they gave me stimulation even talking about it because they tried to make me feel uncomfortable. And she had her legs crossed, and you could almost see her genital, her private parts. And I was like, what is going on here? That's weird. And nobody's doing anything. And I'm looking at the family, I'm like, did they know I'm here? And like everybody's playing off like it's normal. I'm like, that is not normal. I'm not like, we're not that close. I'm like, yes, it's kind of, I feel like family, but not that family. Not that close. Like, I'm not okay with this. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's disgusting. Like, it's not disgusting, but it's just like, ugh. Like, I'm not that, like, I don't feel comfortable with this. You should know that. Like, and in my mind at the time, I'm like, okay, maybe it's the culture, right? It's a different race. So maybe it's because she's in a different race. In this, like, this is something they're okay with. But to me, it's like, this is some weird stuff. And I'm looking at the older brother who's like a little bit older than me. And I'm like, hey, is this okay with you? Like, I'm looking at him. He's just looking straight. And nobody's looking at me when I'm looking at them. Like, I'm looking at them. It's like, are they normal? It's like, can they not see that I can see, like, her genitals there? Nobody's doing anything. They're all playing off, like... So you understand, they wanted me to look at this kid's genitals. You know, when I'm telling these stories, they try to do everything to disorient me. Oh, damn, man. Because what does he look like? Why would you... And obviously, I felt so uncomfortable. I was like, oh, this is not normal. I was like, thankfully, my girlfriend's here because I couldn't, like, if she wasn't there, I'd be like, I don't even know what to look. I didn't know where to look. It's weird. It's like, what kind of... It's like, I don't want to see this. It's nasty. In my mind, they try to create, oh no, you see that? No, it's weird. What was it? Why? It's like, this, I don't want to see this kid's genital. And that's nasty. In my mind, they try to make me think of something else, but that kind of is funny. But it was nasty. It was nasty that they would try to make me look, and I was like, this is just not right. Because to me, I'm looking at her, it's like my little sister. I think at that time maybe she just turned 18 or something like that. But like this, like it's like, ugh, it's like I don't want to see that. Like I can't even like imagine anything like that with her. I couldn't. It's just disgusting, and I felt uncomfortable. And I remember that day I was like, these people are just very weird. Right now, the way they try to create story. They're like, oh, since that day, you like, oh, you were turned on, you wanted. It's like they made me. I remember the day they're like making me imagine. Oh, after that, you're like, oh, you wanted to think about sex, creating storylines and BS stories. To try to create this BS, because this like she was like a teenage kid, maybe just turned 18, about to go to college, some stuff like that. Try to create all the different storylines, and you understand how disgusting it is. That they were trying to make me look at this kid's genitals. And now they're like, oh, but you were thinking about it later on. This is what they were trying to build before. They have the ability to rewire your memories and create false information in your memories, create you to think other ways. And now they tell me I'm going to be blind, which is something they've done to others, even children. And they do all these things in hope that when this ends, they have created this fantasy, which is completely falsified. I rather be blinded to try to force somebody to think in these ways. Because what they do to me today is when I see kids, the stimulation they make me have are nasty. And they want to be, no, but remember that time when this kid wanted to show me her genitals? And I felt uncomfortable? And I was looking at the brother, looking at the sister, looking at like, what's going on here? Oh, no, they are. You proved it. You see, you guys are damn investigators. And they use these childlike individuals the government contract. And these government entities are actually filled with pedophiles. And they're trying to create a false memory of a time when a kid, well, maybe at that point she was 18 years old, or almost an adult or a kid, or a young adult or a kid was showing her genital or trying to, and everybody around me was pretending like nothing was happening because they wanted me to look at her and be normal about it. And I was like, this is just so weird. What the F is that? And I thought somebody's gonna say something, right? Somebody's gonna say something. Nobody. They're just all looking normal, like this was normal. Now looking back, I'm like, this because they want. Okay, that was supposed to be like a setup. Me looking at her, this kid's genital was a setup. You completely showing. I'd rather die. So now they're out here, now we proved that, was they proof, they see it, we matched it, we mapped it, you see, and then try to manipulate my memories, try to create, oh no, but after that you're thinking, oh, that, that moment, so prove this, creating stories, making me imagine sexual moments, thinking about this me almost seeing this person's genital, creating things. But these people create false memories. And they then be like, no, we mapped it to that time when this girl showed her genitals to the family and you were there and they wanted you to see that. We mapped it to that. It's so nasty. And that's what I have to deal with. Now, you heard the story. If they try to make me subscribe to these things in like if they come close to me and try to interact with me, you think I'm gonna let them escape? But you mapped it when they were trying to make me look at these kids' genitals? Oh wow, you protect your children, huh? Trash. Desperate low lives. And now try to go into my memories and create stimulation sensations like, oh, you're trash. Yes, they are so much. It's obvious. You guys are protecting children. You see how you're protecting her? Yeah, and they go into my memories, making me feel sensation I didn't feel at the time. That's how it's going to go. They can do through everything. And I know it's 100% false, but they start working on it since 2020. And they tell me that now we're going to frame you. It's because most likely there's some childlike individual who's going to say something about me doing something to her. That's their job. That's the trashiness they do. And try to play the femme fatale. To all my target individuals, I tell my stories because I don't want you to ever subscribe to this nastiness, to the falsification of reality. Whatever repetitions they say, whatever side of the show, see them for what they are. The weak, low lives, and you heard them talk. If you have V2K, you understand who's talking to you. You hear them. You don't think, oh, this is some fierce, strong person. Some delusional trash who can come up with their own little fantasy. Just waiting for the day for this thing to come back to them. But in the meantime, enjoying this life that they're living, feeling like gods in the community. Stay strong. This is dignified death. I'm telling you, this is a dignified way to go. Not to say that you're going to die, but I'm saying, like, yes, you're going to die, but I'm just saying that this is dignified. You heard the story I just said. Anybody else would be humiliated. It's like, oh my gosh, damn, dude. These people are going to be there, we see, dude. Actually, pedophiles and these entities contracting this sort of life. Look at how they try to even manipulate things that was already embarrassing in the first place. To my target individual, stay strong.